One of the realities of a really effective mobility practice is that you're going to be spending a lot of time on your hands, which can be really tough on your wrists and thumbs if you're not used to spending that much time loading your hands that way. So, I want to spend a few minutes here teaching you some positional variations and regressions that can allow you to take the strain and discomfort off of the wrists and thumbs so that it doesn't get in the way of this amazing practice that we're cultivating. So, you can use these variations anytime you want to in the program if it starts to become a little too much on the hands and wrists so that it doesn't get in the way or become a distraction of the main focus, okay? So check this out. The first one is really simple. Going from having your hands positioned this way with the fingers facing straight ahead to simply turning your fingers facing sideways. You might be surprised at how much relief that can give you, okay? And then you can still continue to, build the strength being in this loaded position right here. The second one is to go to your fists. So simply just being in a fist position here takes the strain off the wrist being in extension. Piece of advice though, make sure you make a really tight, strong fist to activate the musculature in the forearm to help stabilize the wrist in that position. Okay? Third one is what I call the chicken feet. And this is where you come up onto your first knuckle and your fingers are still spread out, your thumbs down and posted, but this can allow you maybe a little bit more stability than you might feel on your fist. But this is gonna be a little challenging on the thumb, so just an option to check out, all right? Now, another great option is to get a set of small parallettes. I'll put a link in the description here and you can check it out on Amazon. They're about like $20 to get a good pair, but it's essentially just a pair of handles that are really light that you can move where you want them to, and it allows you to be in a straight wrist position here and then have something to grip so it stabilizes your wrist much, much easier on the wrists and thumbs. Great tool to have, highly recommend it. Also really lightweight, so easy to bring with you if you're going somewhere for the most part. Now, there's also a positional variation that I want to show you that you can do in any position. And it's simply going down to your forearms, okay? So the way that you would do it if we were in the spider position would be that you would probably need something that would elevate your position unless you're like incredibly mobile and you can go all the way down to the floor on both forearms. I can't, so I'm not going to show you that. But it's as simple as just dropping to the forearms. So if you look at this, I'm actually at the same height as my hands being down, and I've just dropped to my forearms, and now I can just focus on the hip mobilization here, and I can still turn and rotate both directions here. I still have a lot of ability to do anything in the program from this forearm position, give my wrists a little bit of break. Now, you can do this from the down dog as well. Check it out. So in this position, just dropping down to the forearms and pushing back into a down dog, okay? And this is great work right here. Matter of fact, from this position, I feel more upper back activation. So I actually add this in sometimes into my practice just because I actually think that there are some additional benefits beyond what I can do on my hands. And then we can do the same thing in the up dog, what I call the Sphinx position. And this is simply dropping the hips down to the floor, but having the forearms down and then just really focusing on projecting the shoulders down and back and making the spine long and tall. And once again, in this position, I find I actually get more extension in my upper back than when I have my hands down. So there's a lot of value in working in these other positions too. And that way it keeps you in the flow, in the practice, because this shouldn't be something that's causing more pain and diminishing your quality of life. And then the fourth thing that I'll just remind you is to remind yourself that we are approaching this as a practice, not a perfect. So what I mean is, if in the flow video, the daily practice video, I'm holding an up dog for a minute, if you can't hold it for a minute, that's okay. Drop down to the Sphinx, for example, or get into the relaxed position and rest, or just take a little break. It doesn't mean that because you can't do it the way I'm doing it or for as long as I'm doing it, that you shouldn't practice at all. It's really about progress and consistency, not perfection. So, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. If there's something that you can't do, even with one of the regressions, then just skip that part of the flow, but continue working. Let's continue to carve out that time and space in our life to focus our energy on doing something that's good for us, that's going to allow us to move more freely, easily, and without pain. All right, I'm looking forward to the coming days of practice with you. I hope this was helpful.